Dangerlings, this is episode 287 of the Danger Club podcast. All Dangerlings, young and old, new and old. How'd you say that? Because you say new and old, and then you say young and old, right? But I guess it's the same thing. So, ponder on that if you want to. Danger Club podcast, episode 287. Enjoy this team.
Previously on the Danger Club podcast.
Yeah. I'm going to turn to the horse and I'm going to say, "Run, you fool!"
You feel your magic starting to restore to you.
All he had to do was slap a horse on the arse.
I see that the peddler knows a way out of the realm. There are some pens, and standing around in them you can see a number of story kin.
We're looking for the Night Peddler.
Found the Night Peddler, I would say you have. You find a set of the robes that one of the guards seems to be wearing.
Oh, great. The adventure continues now.
Summertime. That's why it's raining all the time. Colin, you're looking fine. You look great, Cole.
Thank you very much.
I'm awkward about giving compliments. That was how I got in there. I wanted to tell you look nice.
Appreciate you.
Through the use of Summertime.
Summertime, and then abandoning the rhyming scheme of that song as soon as I got into it. That's how we're rolling today, Dangerlings. It's going to be a fun one. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Danger Club podcast. I had something delicious the other day. I know we've only just done a food-based preamble a couple of weeks ago, and I know that this will. I know that this will.
Hungry now.
I know that this will result in. First of all, Colin saying, "Yeah, I already knew about that. I invented that," and then Scott saying, "That is weak food for mortals. Don't eat it."
Yeah.
Has anyone had hot pot? Has anyone been for hot pot?
Well, I've had
not like Aunt Betty's hot pot from Corrie.
Well, if it's not that, I'm not interested.
So like it's one of the places you go, and then it's a bit like going for Korean barbecue. Like you go to the place and they have, but instead of having a barbecue, they bring out like. It's got like a cooker thing in the middle, and they bring a big pot of just like spiced soup of like stock with just spices and veg and things in it. And then you order just loads of veg and raw meat and stuff, and they just bring it up to the table, and you just cook it right there in front of you. And it is so fucking good. I've done two so far. I went to Happy Lamb in Holborn, which is good. I can tell you, if you are a lamb, do not go there because the happiness is not for you.
Do they do the slaughtering there?
Right at the table, they bring them out. You just dunk it. You dunk a whole lamb.
Anthony Hopkins is there.
Slaughtered a few lambs, haven't you, Ross?
But
Yep. Sorry, I was just drinking on some lamb's blood.
Just drinking your juice burst apple juice.
Juice burst.
But went to one in Chinatown as well, and they had a dip bar. That's like you can make your own. Well, you make your own dipping sauce, and it's just like a whole. It's like when you go to the salad bar in Harvester, which is still the single most exciting thing you can do in a restaurant. And you've just got just like loads of peanuts and coriander and just loads of different dipping sauces and chilies and you just basically make your own dipping sauce and take it up, and then you can just you cook your meat, you have a dip. It's so good, man.
So nice. You cook your meat.
You cook your own meat at the table. Yeah.
I've done like a Korean barbecue. Go on, Colin. What is that?
No, I love this. I love this.
Yep. This. You're next going to go like, oh, did you pay service charge?
This is it. Restaurants have got us, man. They got us by the balls. Like soon enough, we're going to go in there and fucking pay to, like the rent for the. I know we actually pay the rent. But
Ross, it's not man complaining. Go on.
We're going to build the restaurant.
Here we go.
I just love it. I think it's so clever. Like Nando's sorted it out, didn't they? They made us pay the service charge to actually go up and do all the work for them, basically, and then it's just this going around. Yeah. There was an old sketch in Seinfeld where your man came up with an idea. What's his name? Kramer came up with an idea of you going into a pizza place where you make your own pies, and the joke was in the 90s, like no one's going to pay to make their own food. They go to the restaurant to not do that, and yet here we are, and we are doing it, and we love it. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I want to go. Do you know what I mean? I want to go and cook my own meat and make my own sauces.
If there's anyone who is comfortable with the modern world, it's Jerry Seinfeld. He's
let's not get into the whole. Yeah. I mean, he's controversial one. And obviously the guy who plays Kramer as well, he's had his controversies as well. So
excommunicado.
Yeah. I mean, I've been to the Korean barbecue place. I quite like cooking my own food, but with this hot pot, it sounds like, is it casserole?
No, it's not like
because you get a bowl of spice soup and just cook it right there.
No,
you add the ingredients, you wait for a couple of hours.
No.
Let it all broil through, and then eventually you've got a
boiling.
casserole. Because that's really a hot pot.
That's like northern. So dangerously, there is a. There's like I don't know if that's a thing outside of the UK, but especially in the north, hot pot it's a stew basically, isn't it? That's what we're talking about there. I
think the changelings around the world would be familiar with stews of various sorts.
I know,
it's that sort of thing. It's that.
I don't know if that's.
Don't you slice your potatoes and put them on the top? That's the difference.
I hate that though.
Oh, what?
I don't want
dumplings on the top. Yeah, dumplings.
It's a stew.
I don't want
That's the difference.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? Like, if it's a stew, you got dumplings in it. If it's a hot pot, you put your potatoes on the top.
Sure.
I don't want to yuck anyone's yum.
We'll Google this shit.
Yeah, I'm not down with the thin sliced potato on top of a stew. Because the potato goes soggy. It doesn't soak up that much flavour.
Go on, Ross.
A dumpling's better.
Isn't that a Duffer's Noir?
Go on, what is it?
No.
A dolphin noir?
A Duffer's Noir.
A dolphin in a film noir.
Beautiful.
No, that's a very different dish. And only if you roast it wrong, Dan.
Yeah?
You get some nice like roasted.
I still think a dumpling is gonna a good dumpling is gonna outdo a potato any day.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. Like, I'm just saying the specifics of a hot pot and a stew.
Colin's argument is always like, don't get me wrong, I fully agree with you, but fuck you.
Yeah, you're totally fucking wrong. I mean, I think it's going to be one of those things that, because I saw a chart, and every county in this country has a different name for a bread roll.
Yeah.
Like a cob and a blah 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 and a blah 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 blah. And it's like, wow, there's so much variation.
It's the same in the States though, isn't it? They've got
of course it is.
and grinders.
But like if you have one of them, it's like, is it a bread roll? Yeah, it is.
Fisters.
Wow. Fisters.
Yeah, if you go to certain parts.
It's in certain. You
gotta.
Could I have a meatball fister, please?
They'll know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
That comes with thinly sliced potatoes on the top, and it's served by a dolphin.
There you go. Everything comes back around.
Well, speaking of fists and meaty balls, let's jump back into the Danger Club. So when we last left you off, you're in the trackless dearth at the moment. This sort of wasteland at the edge of the Harrowed Realm. It's just a desert that just seems to go on for ages. You've been out there for actually not that many days, thanks to Scott's excellent low rolling on the search checks. For how long you had to trek through. But you found a trader called Everready Jakob, a centaur, who you rescued from a drunken whirlwind, and in return, and you saved the life of Cyril the horse, which allowed Shania to regain her powers, which I really feel you guys came at me for not punishing him more.
Just felt very soon, Like it was such a big setup. Like, you've lost your powers. There's a journey of atonement. It's a pilgrimage. Like this, this game has teeth. And then it was like, okay,
but.
It was people.
I get why you did it, because Drum would forget where he was and who he is if you didn't.
He wasn't forgetting that. Every episode he was like, "Oh, I've done this thing, and I need to pay atonement for it." And it was like he was like reminding himself. I was like, "Oh, this is an interesting arc." I was like, and then he gets to learn to use like the monkey scythe combo. I was like, "Oh, that's interesting."
I guarantee you, he would have by now. He would have given up on the powers thing, and he's also making you go into a fight with no healer. That would have been tough. I've lost count of the number of drum plots that we've lost along the way.
My parents kidnapped his child, I think it was.
I think they killed his entire family.
Entire family. My family
in cold
lineage
blood.
Killed his family.
Yeah, they're dead.
That would have been a fun one to.
Didn't want to tell me that.
That was. You know how far that goes back? That goes back to a flashback in Folton's past when he first left home, and you see him having the argument with Dallin before he leaves home. There is a pristine axe hanging above the door. You see everyone's axes hanging above it, and there is a pristine axe hanging above there because that was your father's axe, because he swore to never pick it up again after the horrible thing that happened. And I was like, this is going to be great. This will all come true. And John was like, thank you for that information. I will just put it in my pocket and then set fire to it. Goodbye.
How long ago was that now?
That would have been
forever.
I want to say like 4
Ken
years.
Margaret, wasn't it?
Yeah.
To be fair to John, I think he was a
that's,
bit more like, I don't care. Do you know what I mean? He's my friend. I think that's what he was playing. I might be wrong. He's not here to tell
It's
me.
annoying because I can't now metagame and go, oh, it's like my dad and his past. He always came back bloody and with Drow's blood all over.
It's
like
I'm sure
my
there's a way of you
father's-
finding out if you really wanted to. Like you could
Maybe.
poke a lot even further if you wanted to do that. You'd
Yeah.
probably do anything if you wanted
I
to.
think we'll let sleeping
I'd allow it.
dead families lie, really. That's how that was.
I'd allow it. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I gave this motherfucker his powers back after 2 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
So
know.
Shania, now your powers are back. yeah.
Well, to balance it out, Drum's not here now, so if you get in a fight this record, you're still having to do it with no
Yeah.
Nobody wins. You're dealing with the Night Peddler. That's what happened in the end. You found your way to the Night Peddler's camp, and he's got a token. You're thinking maybe we can get a token from him. You find him out there. It's like a small tent village, really. It's all around an oasis. It looks like it moves around quite a lot. Bit of fence around it, and the most noticeable thing is there are these pens where there are like it's around 30-ish, maybe a bit more story kin. You can see them just milling around in these kind of pens made out of thorn bushes. And there are a few tents hanging around. So most of you, Bubba, Folton and Velder, you marched up to the camp to go and say hello, because there is literally no way of approaching any kind of settlement or potentially hostile situation that doesn't start with Folton shouting hello and walking straight into the middle of it. Meanwhile, Karagor went stealthy and crept into the camp from the side and has gone looking for disguises or something like that. You met the Night Peddler. He looks maybe kind of elfin. He's sort of purple skinned. He's wearing robes covering most of his body. He's similar to Shania, I guess, but not quite like a drow. His ears are enormous. His ears stick up out the top of it, pointed, but way more than Shania's are. And he has a kind of he's got like a shroud pulled up over his mouth, which makes sense given the dust. You've counted 3 guards standing around, also wrapped up in all of these, wrapped up in shrouds and robes with swords. There are 3 of them, keeping a pretty close eye on them. Night Peddler seems pretty friendly. Seems happy to see you. He's invited you in for tea, and that was where we left off. Meanwhile, Karagor was inside one of the tents, and you found that there were chains hanging from the ceiling. But you did find a guard's uniform, I believe. I think that is about where we got up to. Anything anyone else wants reminding of before we dive into this little adventure?
Have we slept? Have we rested since our last?
So you would have slept since. Yes, you did, because it was 2 days travel after you met Everard Jakob, so you've had 2 days of to rest. So yes,
all right.
Go ahead.
Lovely.
If you haven't had a rest, give yourself a rest. And let's start things off with the 3 people with the Night Peddler.
Cool.
So the Night Peddler opens up his tent and gestures for you to come inside. Inside there are very fine rugs. It's really plushly decorated. You can see gold jewelry hanging up, lots of different ornaments and things. You can see he's got kind of a big satin cushions, and he sits down on it. And one of the guards brings a tray with some tea on it and puts it down with some little teacups. He pours a cup for each of you and one for himself, and then sits and says, "Well, I don't see people coming out to find me very often. Normally I have to go looking for customers. What can I interest you in?"
Well,
We
Go ahead.
Oh, I see. You're doing the one word at a time, I guess.
Yes.
Do you want to join in? We'll
Try
make
to
a story.
test it technique.
We're looking for a token.
Yes, tokens is what we need.
A token, you say? One. I take it this is not some mere trinket.
No, this is something we're collecting.
Aye.
With a task in hand. We have someone to save, so we're going around. We're trying to find tokens because when we get them all, we'll be able to save them. We heard word that maybe you, oh mighty Night Peddler, might have one.
Oh, I'm not mighty. I'm just smarter than everyone else. You're looking for the prince.
Aye.
Yes.
Striding Fortress. You're not from around there, are you?
No.
I can smell it on you.
No.
Very rare that people from outside are looking for the prince rather than the other way around.
Oh yeah.
Normally him hunting them down.
Is he a hunter?
You could say that.
Why does he want to get out of this place?
Oh. Have you thought about why we call him the Patchwork Lord?
No, actually.
The prince hates it here. He hates that he was trapped here. He thought that when we killed God, that it would set us free. Now, some of us, we're content. We got what we wanted out of that, but he never really settled. He knows there's a world outside of the realm. He knows there's something out there, and he knows that we can't leave it. So, well, most of us can't. Story stuff don't exist properly outside of the realm. The prince knows the only thing that exists outside is flesh. Real flesh. That's why he's been luring folk from the outside, using that deck of cards. Draws them in, they all get drawn towards him, and eventually when he has them, he takes the flesh, and
So-
they're the patches.
Apologies. So he's going to rip apart various different people, take the flesh, and then try and go to the real world?
He thinks if he replaces enough of his flesh with enough of his story stuff with real flesh, that eventually he'll be able to just walk on out.
I see. Very
charming.
interesting.
How many people has he lured here? Does anyone have any idea?
Oh, countless. You go to the Demon's Fen, you'll see what's left of them. That's where their souls end up. People like you ain't like people like us, you see. When we die, we go back to the man molds, get reborn out of Mazzali. Eventually we end up going back to what we did before. Your souls rot in the Demon's Fen for eternity.
So why does he want to be flesh?
He thinks there's something outside, thinks there's more than this. Some people can't blame him. You must have met a lot of storykin along your time here. They do the same thing. That's the trouble with stories. They go round and round in circles. A character in a story is only good to fulfill what they're meant to do. How gone the ever seen? Always trying to find that dragon. If he when he comes back, he dies, he comes back, he goes looking for the dragon again. We all had our purposes. Some of us had our purposes corrupted. The Tick-Tock man, he was just a humble clockmaker. Mazzali was a weaver. They thought they could make their craft greater by taking on the powers of God, but all they did was take on more responsibilities. Now their role is just an eternal slog, repeating the same thing and again and again and again until they go mad with it. The prince wants out.
How many skins does the Patchwork Prince have? 1, 2.
Oh no.
As you began that sentence, Folton, I looked into your little eyes and I thought, I bet this is something to do with at least 5 skins. So,
Not foreskins.
no, not 4 skins. No. You'd need an awful lot of them to stroll around the world,
Sure,
wouldn't you?
yeah.
Imagine
Let's
this is
not
my
get into that.
suit.
Now listen.
So wait, hold on. Just as a sidebar, we're probably doing exactly what the prince wants us to do, is in bring ourselves to him, and he can take our skins.
You'd think he'd make it a bit easier if that was what he wanted, wouldn't he? He could have just gone straight to the castle and be like, there we go, take his foreskin and off we go.
And if
swap there. So our friend could be dead by now, by the way. He could be just a sort of, a sleeveless body.
Yeah.
True.
But, we've sort of massacred our way through.
Ike was single, wasn't it? So,
the man mold's going to be busy.
We need a token.
Yes.
From
you
and
a few other people. Now, what would happen? Like, just I've never asked this before. If is it Masali? If you were to tell me, if the grubs couldn't change into people, if all of a sudden, right, for some reason, the grubs you couldn't get reborn, what would happen in this world?
Well, you'd get a backlog of grubs. They'd come back. Mazali's died once before.
Masali, that's it.
Died in childbirth, as I remember. Messy time that was. Yeah, anyone who died for a little while there, they couldn't come back. Everything stalled for a little while. Things got real quiet. Eventually, she gave birth to herself. Came back, managed to sculpt herself back up out of the story stuff and the wax. Pulled herself back together. Horrible, as I hear. Don't think she wants to go through that again.
All right, just wondering.
Yeah, but that's an interesting thing you bring up there.
Why is that?
Thinking of murdering Mazali,
No, I wasn't saying that, was I? I was just saying it what if everything stopped?
Of course not. We're not going to... No one's saying that you should murder Mazali. We're just getting our ducks in a row.
Right? You'd want us to... And then we give you a token. You give us a token.
I don't want anyone murdered.
So what can we do to get a token off you? What can we put in front of you today?
You sound different there, Bubba.
What do you mean?
You sound a lot like Colin.
It's a very similar voice.
It's very well, no. There's the inflection in there, Bubba.
All right, listen, what can we put in front of you?
That's better. Yeah, there we are.
Let's get a token off. Thank you for checking on that. Yeah.
It was just got funny. What can we do to put it down?
Yeah, what's going on, bro?
Funny you should say that. There is something that I've been thinking about that you might be able to help me with.
Oh, there's always something in there.
Meanwhile, Karagor, you are in one of the guards' tents nearby. You've searched through. You found kind of some clothing that looks like one of the guards, and you have, you've seen that there's kind of chains hanging up over all of the beams in this tent from the top. Let's jump back in with you. What's the plan?
Beams in the tent.
The beam, yeah, kind of there's wooden beams setting up this tent. There's beams across the top of it that kind of hold out the sides of it. And there's chains hanging down.
What do the chains look like? Do they look like ordinary chains?
They look like they are made of a dark metal. You can see manacles hanging from some of them.
Oh. Can I... Oh, never mind. I was just looking at my cards there, Dangerlings. Can I, without touching the manacles, like to see how recently they've been used?
Okay. Give me probably a perception, I would say, or a thievery, whichever. I'd take either one of those, or if you've got a law skill that's relevant.
That's a 24.
24.
Thievery.
On a thievery. So you check them. These chains are well oiled. Do you reckon that the chains are used quite regularly?
But there is no one here that has been manacled.
There is nobody who is chained from it. No, it looks like there's just a lot of them draped over the top, sort of hanging down. It looks like they're being stored here.
And there isn't any marks on the floor that indicate recent... I mean, I guess if they're hanging from manacles, they might not be touching the floor.
Yeah, you don't see any sign that there's been anyone chained up in here. Well, you don't see any... There's nothing disturbed on the floor, that's for sure.
And roughly how many roughly how many pairs of manacles are there?
Looking up, you reckon about 25.
25 manacles, eh? And they're for ordinary humanoid width wrists.
They're for a variety. Some are slightly smaller, some are slightly larger.
Okay. Well-oiled manacles that have been ready for use, and there's 25 of them. And there's no one here.
Like the saddest king party ever, isn't it?
I invited so many people.
So many people invited. I ordered all the chains.
I've seen sadder. But Karagor hasn't. Okay. Is there anything else in the tent?
Like you search through and you find, like I said, you found some clothes. You find a bed, but when you pull back the covers, there, rather than a mattress underneath, there is one of the thorn bushes that's been used to make the fencing outside. It's just like a bed of thorns.
Yeah, this is why I don't sleep in fucking beds. Fucking classic. Alright, so it looks like we've got ourselves a little torture place. That doesn't look very nice or sanitary. I'll put on the guard's uniform.
Okay, you dress up as one of the guards.
Does it cover my face?
It does, yeah. It's got a scarf that you can pull across, and you can pull, and it's got goggles you can pull down over your eyes.
Oh, great!
So,
Wow, so he's like a Fremen, like
yeah,
something.
basically. Yeah, that's
Wow.
what these guards look like. They're completely covered.
Damn.
I step outside the tent.
Okay, you step outside into the camp. There are. You can see that there is one of the guards standing by the prison pens. The other, you can't see where the others or the Night Peddler are. There is one big tent at the centre of the.
I go over to the guard.
You go over to the guard.
Hail!
Do you speak Infernal?
Nope. Cool.
Just a very awkward moment.
Just walk away.
Just jazz hands it, mate. Just jazz hands it off. Station F's.
Infernal is the common language in this camp. That's mad. Okay, cool. Is there anyone else around?
There is a pen behind where there are loads of storykin hanging around. So storykin as in like a variety of different ancestries. You can see some humans, some elves, dwarf, a tengu.
And you said the bed was made of...
The bed was made of thorns.
And you said that's the same fences as around the pen.
So yes, they've made these fences by kind of grabbing... You've seen them while you've been out in the dark. There's like thorn bushes and things blowing around. It looks like they've gathered up a bunch of them and used them to make a kind of thorny fence.
And there is a gate to this pen?
There is, yes. There is. You can see that there's like a big stick has been put through part of the fence, and if you were to grab a hold of it, you could kind of move it aside to open it. Get inside.
Is there a way of communicating with the storykin without leaning on the thorn bushes?
Yeah, you reckon if you went round to a different side of the pen, you could call one over and just kind of and talk through it. It's not like it's you can talk through the fence.
Can I go away from Infernal Guard and do that?
Infernal Guard's like,
oh, I'm old again. Oh, that's what happens when you get old. You get infernal.
oh God. Give me a deception check.
Oh, God.
You'll be pleased to know that's a natural one. Back in the game, everyone. Back in the game. Come on. Come on, roll high. I never roll high.
How is this possible?
Don't know. It's Colin's fucking dice.
Colin.
Oh, Cole.
Sorry, guys.
Colin.
Total of 13.
I'll leave.
13. Okay. The guard looked at you as I'm doing the accent now. It turns and walks away from you.
Great.
And walks towards. You see it walking towards the main tent.
Okay. Well, ideally, I'd have liked to have spoken to the club to tell them about this, but I'm pretty sure they're in a terse negotiation with the Night Peddler that I do not want to interrupt, so... There's no way of me getting in there and then telling them without revealing my cover, which I've got about maybe 40 seconds before it's blown anyway. So,
Jump in the fence. Jump in the...
Jump in the pen.
Jump in the pen.
I'm a storykin. Yeah. And then that'll fool them into thinking that I'm a prisoner, and I will in fact be a prisoner. It's genius.
Yeah,
It's genius.
Double bluff.
I love a Folton plan.
I skit around to where I can see a storykin.
Okay, you kind of move round the. You kind of move round the back of the. There's a storykin hammering their mic with the. Sorry, Cole, I know you
That's
put
right.
it out.
I'll put it down.
You go around the back of the. You go around the back of the pen. This does afford you a bit of cover from the kind of the main part of the camp, like it's on the edge of the camp, so you can kind of get a break line of sight to
Right.
the rest of it if you want.
Great.
Which puts you out of the way a little bit.
Hey, you there?
One of the storykin looks around as if it's like, me?
Yeah, you. Come a bit closer.
Okay. The storykin shuffles awkwardly over.
Oh, what's your name? I rarely get to do this. It's normally Rolton that's doing this.
My name comes from. You've had loads of them. My name comes from Tin. I'm. Oh fuck now. My name's Kinnico Orloff. I'm a mushroom. He's a mushroom, Leshy. I'm sorry. You'd think I'd have made more of that when I first walked over, but yes, I am. He's a little mushroom. He's wearing speedos. He's like, hello,
Kinnicool.
Kinnico Orloff.
Love that.
Cheers, Tim.
Nice one,
Tim.
Tim.
Thanks, Tim.
Good work.
All right,
Yeah.
Kinnico.
Right. Hello.
Now, what have you been putting here for?
What am I putting here for? Oh, I were walking out one day. I were out in the forest gathering fungus for me dinner. Which actually is dead weird now I think about it.
No,
Yeah,
I
you
haven't
eat your
questioned
own-
it. I've met plenty of leshies, and I'm not questioning this. This seems par for the course. To continue.
It's it's really complex. It's a complex thing. It's the web of life. Anyway, I were out trying to gather them when suddenly one of these big bastards come out and he just and grabs me, wraps some chains around me, and he's like, "Come with me." And I was like, "All right."
Oh wow. So actually, wait. So you went willingly?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't
That
say-
changes my whole
They
plan.
wrapped you up in chains and they were like, do you want to come with us? Yeah, all right, well, he wrapped you up in chains now.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, all right. You had me at chains.
I didn't have anything else to do, you see. I'd already gathered me mushrooms, and my purpose really is to gather mushrooms. Like normally, back in the day when God was around, I would gather mushrooms, and then Algon would come by and ask if the dragon was nearby, and I'd point him on his way, and then go about gathering mushrooms. And this just seemed like something new.
Wait. Do you know where the dragon is?
Oh, not anymore.
Oh, for fuck's sake. It's probably inside the shifting sandy fortress, whatever it is. Anyway, so what? You did have a purpose, Kinnico. Kinnico, you had a purpose.
Aye,
How
gathering-
many fungi have you gathered inside of there?
None.
Not exactly.
I'm regretting it. If I'm honest with you, I am regretting it.
And I can see that. How many more people are inside there, Kinnico?
There's another 32 of us.
32.
I'm actually quite good at counting. You see, that's another thing that I do. I would gather the mushrooms and then I'd be like, well, I've got some time to fill now, so I guess I'll count them. So I've got really good at counting mushrooms.
That's good. I'm glad you can count people.
I can't count past 50 though, so if they take any more prisoners, I'm really worried that if they keep taking prisoners, my maths is going to go to pot. Are you here to teach me maths?
In a way, I'm here to teach you that 2 + 2 = 5.
Oh.
It's a reference to George Orwell. Never mind.
I got it. Yeah.
So Kinnico,
Yes.
Karagor does the math in his head. It's like, right, so there's about 30 of them. Even if 15 of them run away and none of them stay to even if half of them stay to fight, that might balance an encounter. All right. Do you reckon the rest of them are all in there against their will, Kinnico?
Oh yeah, definitely. Except Eddie.
Oh, fucking hell, who's Eddie?
Eddie,
It was Lick Boot Eddie. Come on.
He's just into it.
Oh,
he's just
okay.
really into it.
I'll stay away from Eddie. I wouldn't want to interrupt Eddie's enjoyment.
He
of
points
heads.
over. There's a minotaur just rolling around on the sand, going yes.
He's not doing anything.
He's just loving. He just loves it.
Wait, hang
He
on.
just likes the sunshine. I think he
Kinnico.
just likes getting out.
Before I let you all out, is this just a spa? Like, am I going to do a breakout and actually you all want to stay in there, you're having a nice time? Because that would be very Monty Python of me to do that.
No, we're definitely against our will.
Okay, great.
Hang on, let me ask one of the other let me ask.
do it quietly and do it swiftly, because I'm taking a lot of limelight here. So.
All right, let me just ask. Eddie's one of the names. I didn't realise.
That's amazing.
Congratulations, Eddie. You're in the game. You're a
Overjoyed
chain
mother.
Let me just go and ask Eddie.
Jebica. Jebica's also. Thank you, Jebica.
Thank you, Jimmy.
A gnome comes by and says, "Hello, I'm Jebica. What's the situation?"
Jebica, are you in here against your will?
Yeah, oh, very much so. Yes,
Jebica, have you ever...
every now and then they take a few of us away, and there are horrible screams. So I'm very much against my will.
I guess where that might be coming from. Jebica, have you ever had, by any chance, have you ever had training from a slightly French gnome back in, you know, who might have trained you with a crossbow, how to go down tunnels and wore leather armour?
No, not all gnomes are French. You see, it's really racist to assume that.
And do you know what? That's on me, Jebica, and thank you for enlightening me. I'll do the work now. I am gonna let you out, Jebica, but don't make a scene, okay? Can you fight?
Oh, well, we've been thinking about it. We've been making a plan, you see.
Have you really? Have you been sort of coming anywhere near the summation that you might need to do an uprising?
Well, we thought to ourselves, if we can get free, then maybe we can. The trouble is, we're not warriors, you see.
Okay.
We're just most of the people here are just Stordican from Fable or people from the Briar. They're not used to fighting, so I mean. If you could offer us some help, maybe we'd have more chance. You see, every now and then we try to escape, but the last time there was an escape, the guards killed a whole bunch of us and put the rest of us back in. We're very bad at this.
Fair enough. Well, I mean, in that case, then I'm not the kind of person that would put civilians on the front line of an uprising or a riot. I know a mate who's done that.
I know a guy.
I know a guy who has done that, but I'll probably just let you go then. In that case, we'll take the flak, we'll take the heat. That's kind of what we do with Danger Club. All right, I'm gonna just open the gate now. Let you all go wherever you want to go. Is that all right? Hey, remember my name's Karagor One Fang.
We got injured here, though. I don't think we'd make it very far into the desert.
Oh, what? Well, I mean, how'd you get here? In some kind of caravan?
Yes, we were dragged here through the desert.
Well, I'm sure there's a supply tent you could raid nearby. I'll cause a distraction, all right? So I'll let you out. You go raid the supply tent.
I'm really not confident about this. It feels like...
What about you, Kinnico?
What's your plan?
I'm just going to let you out, and then I'm going to go get my mates.
Oh, what should we do?
Leave? Unless you want to stay and fight. But that doesn't seem to be on the
we
cards.
don't want to, but... We just go... What, we just walk off into the desert?
Well, I mean... all right, okay, fine. I'll leave my mates and I will walk you all individually to your houses and homes. That should take us about 10 episodes.
I feel like I'm getting a real narky vibe from you now.
Just like, okay, all right. What do you need?
I thought you'd come to help us.
Yeah, I mean, I am trying to help you.
Do you have any weapons or anything?
Yeah, I've got loads of weapons.
Got any healing that could help
I've got
us?
no healing at all. And I tell you what.
What is the point of you?
Oh, do you know what? I've been asking that for roughly this entire arc, actually, since about level 7. What do you need, Jebica? Let's do this. What do you need?
I'm going to tell you a few of the things you can do to help out these guys that might give them a better chance of escaping. So these guys are planning an escape. If you can provide them with enough weapons or armor to arm kind of half of them, they might have a chance of fighting their way free. So about 15 pieces of armor, 15 weapons. If you can find a key, if some of them you see are chained, if you can release some of their manacles, you might be able to, that might help them out. Some of them look hurt, so if you're able to do some healing, if you're able to get in there and heal a few of them, that might help. They're lacking. They look like they're lacking in courage. So maybe an inspiring speech might help. They also have no plan. So if you can help them to construct a plan of how they're going to get loose, that might. Remember, these are very basic storykin. Their whole purpose is to fulfill really simple shit. So they're not used to thinking complex thoughts. So they need help to but they do follow instruction well, as you've seen by the fact that most of them walked back here.
Okay, so I need Bubba for 90% of those things. But there's no way of contacting him. Unless he just happens to message me now.
Hey, Karagor, how's it going?
What, Karagor?
And I have no means of contacting him without blowing my cover and this thing. So... Do you want to cut back to the other guys?
Let's come back to the other guys. Why don't we, while you're thinking through that plan? So, as you're chatting to the other guys, the peddler is about to finish speaking when one of the guards pushes over the tent, goes over to one and just goes, to one of the other guards. Does anyone else here speak Infernal?
No.
No. I mean, I probably could have done by now.
If I'd really dedicated
I'd really
myself.
dedicate myself. Well, no, because you get a curious thing when you're an intelligent character. You get to add languages as you go along. But I just don't know why I'd ever have learnt Infernal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Actually, if logically, I'd be like, I've just learnt it as a thing.
What language did you pick?
I've got Sylvan, Draconic, Dwarven, all
Swiss.
big bunch. Yeah, Swiss. That was the hardest one of all, actually. So yeah, yeah. Got Croydon as well. I can speak Croydon.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
It's not far from Infernal.
Basically, just Draconic. Yeah, the Infernal.
The other guy goes,
What's happened, Night Peddler?
Peddler looks around and goes, interesting. Seems we've gained a member of staff.
Oh, that's good, isn't it?
Oh well,
Putting them on the benefits.
I get a pension.
Yeah, does he?
I mean, 'cause I might get paid more than I do from the fucking Danger Club if I stick with these guys.
Horrifica here was just outside. And,
Horrifica? I've seen that band.
and apparently somebody came by and dressed as a guard, but was speaking very, very strangely. You didn't happen to have anyone else with you, do you? Not including that dark elf who is doing whatever she's doing to explain why she's not in this episode.
She's having a big poo.
No. What do you mean they were speaking strangely?
The peddler looks at you for a moment. It's like they didn't understand.
Oh, what are you saying there? Or what do you speak?
They speak Infernal.
Oh, so what? Every guard you have has to speak Infernal? That's racist.
Do the work.
Gotcha. All of my guards speak Infernal, and I only have 3.
Maybe they were doing a Duolingo on the side.
We've already encountered one very antagonistic owl so far in this. Don't need the other one.
I do encourage extracurricular learning within my staff. However, I do only have 3 guards, and all 3 of them are now here.
That's curious,
So
isn't
who
it?
is the guard that's outside?
Well, that's a mystery.
Oh,
Medically
wonder
cannot-
who that could be.
Don't know, that's a you problem, mate. You know, have you got a token? Because we're a bit...
Yeah, back to the token thing. 'Cause this does seem, as you say, like a you problem.
Yeah, it doesn't nothing to do with us, to be honest.
Bubba.
What?
This is Karagor. This is Karagor.
Yeah, do me a fucking favour, lads. Come on.
This is Karagor.
Menasaur, Horrifica, go outside and find this other guard.
Karagor, they're onto us.
bring back their skin.
This skin.
While we talk about our yes, I can sell it. If it's an outsider like you, then I can sell it to the prince.
How many skins?
Did
One
that
skin.
is Bubba's message the kind of message that I can reply to?
Yes.
You get to reply with one sentence.
fuck
So,
that.
Bubba, so there is a little bit of commotion while 2 of the guards go out, which gives you a moment to whisper into your hand if you want to cast a message.
Yeah, cool. Karagor, they're onto us. They're coming to find you.
Oh, I'm so glad you messaged. Listen, Bubba, we need to get out of here. They've got prisoners, and I need your healing and inspiring in order to free them.
Should we start a fight?
No, don't start a fight. Just come up with a reason to get out.
Night Peddler, can we just go outside? I need the toilet.
That's pretty infallible logic you got there.
Come on, guy, you need the toilet as well, didn't you?
I need wheezy.
Yeah, we're just going out to the.
We can't go to the
Yeah.
toilet unless it's together, you see.
See you in a minute. We'll come back in a minute, yeah?
Yep.
And we back slowly out towards the doors.
There's nothing I love more than when Velder gets dragged into one of the kids' plans.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, I too need a wee wee.
Yes, I need a wee. Velder jazz hands as we walk out the tent.
I suppose so at your age.
Yes. Yeah. What do you mean? What's that supposed to mean?
You all back, the three of you follow the guards out of the tent. The peddler watches you go suspiciously. So you step out into the blinding sunshine again, and you can see the two guards that went outside. They haven't drawn weapons, but they're walking around. They can see they're starting to walk around the camp, looking. So you're outside. You can't currently see Karagor because he's on the other side of. There's a big pen full of people.
Okay.
So you don't have a line of sight on Karagor.
There's only 3 guards. We could easily take them out.
We could take him from here. Karagor, where are you?
I'm right round the back of the pens.
He's round the back of the pens.
Tell them there's only 3 guards.
There's only 3 guards.
Oh, fucking hell.
Oh no, we're going to take him out now. Shall we just attack?
Wait, can I see any of the guards?
You can. So the guards are currently on the other side of the pen from you. So you would. They're kind of. If we're kind of figuring out they're like 60 feet away from you, they're nearer to these guys than they are to you. If you peer over the top of the kind of fencing, you can just see the 2 of them. They don't seem to be coming in your direction yet. They're over by the main gate, the pen. They're kind of looking at where the other guard met you for the first time.
Are all 3 of them walking in like together in a phalanx or something?
No, there's 2 of them standing together. One of them stayed with the Night Peddler. One of them is still inside the tent.
I would love to draw one of their attention towards me.
Mm-hmm.
How can I do that? Because they'll just go together and I'll be fighting them both. Where are they? Where's their walking? Where are they walking to?
So it looks like you can see them kind of. They're walking to the place where you first met one of them, and you see them crouched down, and you get the feeling that they're maybe looking for tracks.
Great. Is there a way where I can walk round the pen until I'm behind them?
You could kind of do a loop around the pen, and assuming that they follow your tracks, it's like a circle. You'd be kind of going around the circle behind them, so you could circle around and get behind them.
As long as I move faster than they do,
As long as you move faster than they do, and they don't see or hear you while you're doing that.
Presumably with the entire pen in between us, it might work. Okay, can I...
Certainly going to give you certainly going to help.
Can I do that?
Okay.
There's no point releasing them because I think they'll just instantaneously die. So I think we're going to have to, and in order to get to them, train them, feed them, there's no way of doing that without 4 of the NPCs not noticing us, right?
Yeah.
Am I saying, yeah? Would you,
Yeah.
James?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess we're going to have to either one by one these folks, or the alternative is to start a massive fight, which obviously we don't want, but this could take longer. What are you saying?
I think we take them out.
I think we've together with that message conversation, we know what we're doing, and yeah, I think we're going to take them out. So I guess we'll be sneaking up on behind them, and they've got you coming up.
Yeah, you've still got the Night Peddler and the other guard there. There are 2. So
very true.
I mean, obviously, if shit gets heard, they're going to kick off too. Okay, I'm creeping up behind these 2 guys.
We don't know what their capabilities are, but we'll find out.
Haven't got a fucking clue.
No, they speak Infernal. That's the only thing I'm a bit little concerned about. But yeah, let's go for it.
Well, they might be.
Have you got another?
Magicos.
Do you have another plan or?
No, not really.
Okay.
Unless we try and talk out with the Night Peddler, but I think that's probably done. Because he was a bit suspicious, wasn't he?
He was, yeah. I don't think we're going to be able to talk our way out of it now. I think we're being.
And he's the only one in this. He doesn't like supply this land, does he? Like he doesn't do an essential job.
I mean, it sounds like he sells skins to the patchwork prince,
Yeah.
which is why he's
good. Kidnapped
cheery.
Storykin. So.
Yeah, you don't know. You never really got to what he does with the Storykin, because obviously their skins are useless to. You could have any number of skins. 1 skin, 2. No, I'm not. But yeah, they'd be useless to the Patchwork Lord. But but yeah, he clearly has a use for them.
Ours, however, would be different. So yeah, I mean, also you kind of asked for the token about 5 or 7 times, and he didn't do anything. So
yeah, he was about to offer you a price for it when guard time happened and you went out for your wee.
Oh,
I can back all the way off this if you guys want to continue on that diplomacy. I can just vanish.
Ask us to kill the fucking.
I would just turn away and walk. I'll Metal Gear Solid away if you guys want to continue on the
Unless
diplomacy.
you want to take out the 2 and then we go back in there, and
There's
if it all shit goes off,
a
then
high chance that even if I rolled incredibly high, which as we all know I don't, if I managed to somehow muffle and subdue one of them within a few rolls, the other one would kick off. So if I try and take them both, I'm pretty sure it's going to kick off. So if you want to continue the diplomacy thing, then just tell me and I will walk away from these guards.
It's difficult, isn't it?
because it's going to be something that we're going to have to.
And also,
just see, I guess.
if they find you and we say, "Oh yeah, we did lie to you" as well, that's
going to kick off anyway.
Yeah, but it might be better if we're together. I don't know. It'd be better if we take out these 2 before that happens. I feel like we're being led into a fight, whatever happens.
It's up to you. There's currently no fight happening. How you play this is up to you.
I'm also giving the option, so if you don't want to do that, I can just... They haven't seen me, so I can just turn away and walk.
Should we just find out what he wants?
Yeah, okay.
Message Karagor, wait, we just need to find out what the Night Peddler wants.
All right, Karagor, hold off for a second.
Stand by, holding.
I'll let you know if you kill.
Karagor goes to the other side of the pen.
Cool.
And gets out of their predicted walking route.
Yeah.
Around a different tent.
You kind of loop round and give me a stealth check to try and.
Yep, that's 20. 24.
Why are you looking at me?
I don't know.
Scott was properly eyeballing Colin as you did that roll. We're not sure why.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
You look round and Bubba is hiding next to you, slightly better.
Yeah.
That would be par for the course.
No, so yeah, 24. Great. You managed to. They come round to where you were and you're gone, and you've kind of by that point you've looped round, and then you just get round to the side and you roll under one of the other tents and are back inside. It looks very similar to the. It's not the same tent you found all the chains in. It looks like it belongs to one of the other guards, but it is effectively the same. The chains hanging up, lots of a bed of thorns, things like that. But you're able to kind of, by getting in there, you break line of sight with them, and you're out of sight for a moment.
I disseminate my tracks as well as I move if they're tracking me through.
That's fine.
Dan, the guards, are they like properly well armored? Like look mean as shit.
They look like they're humanoid size. They look bulky. But you can't see what they've got under their robes, and they don't draw weapons. They seem to have just empty. Their hands are gloved, but they seem to be empty.
Okay. That was a good wee.
Much better.
I think that was the best wee of my life.
As we were talking, what do you want for a token?
He looks worried, as if you weren't gone long enough to have weed that far from the front door of his tent.
Just don't step to the left as you get out of the tent.
Yes. It'll evaporate very quickly, don't worry.
Yeah, it's almost gone. It's really hot out there.
hot
So
out
what do you
there.
want?
In the
His little chapstick.
Excuse us for a moment. Step outside. There's just the sound of weeing against the tent. Come back in. So, he's like, see anything interesting out there?
Sand.
Big puddle of wee.
Hate sand. Of course, it's rather irritating. Blah blah blah
I'm
blah blah.
glad
Listen,
you
what
brought
do you
your
want?
chapstick.
Yeah. I don't know why I need it with a beak, but you know.
She needs an entire stick for every application.
Yeah, it's just got loads of chapsticks in a backpack.
Arms aren't quite long enough to reach the tips. You have to get someone else to chapstick.
Fuck, could you just do the beak?
Yeah.
Chapstick with tip.
Yeah, there we go.
Anyway, yes, I've thought I have a business proposition for you. I have clients that are interested in story stuff. You see, there are ways out of the realm that some people don't know about. Story stuff, I'm sure you've been told, is very valuable, and it's even more valuable in its raw form. If you were to bring me, say, 6 grubs from the Weaver, I'd have no need of a token like this. I'd be willing to part with it for that. I could get a very good price. It'd be worth more than a humble token. I wouldn't have to do business with the Patchwork Prince again for a long time. But are you interested in something more?
What do you mean, something more?
A way out.
Mm-hmm. Bring me 12 and I'll show you a way out of the realm.
Could you help us get the prince, the prisoner that the prince is keeping?
If you like. You get me enough grubs and I'll be a very good friend to you.
What, and you think you can get us out of here with, what, your 3 guards? They don't seem that threatening.
Well, he's got 4 apparently, but yeah.
I've got 3. 3 and a walking corpse. That's what's around. Now, if you can bring me 12 grubs, then we've got a deal. You find whatever you take the token, you find whatever you need to, and when you're done, I'll show you one of the routes that I know out of the realm.
All right. Thank you very much for your time. Let's go.
We're just going to confer outside.
Don't pee on my tent again.
No.
Funny enough, I do have a second wind, so I think I might need to. You know that little bit that always holds back when you're at the cinema, and then you go in and you sit down, and then you need that little bit extra. So we better go out and relieve.
Everyone in the desert is familiar with that. I'm just like, really bloated.
Bit of extra tent weed.
Okay, well, we're going to go outside of your little camp. And
I have spare tents. You're welcome to stay for a few days.
We'll get off and get those grubs probably.
Yeah.
If we come back, it's the deal. If we don't, just forget about it, yeah?
We're to the south at the moment. You've probably taken a wide arc. When you get out, use the position of the stars so you can find your way north. That'll take you back to the Briar.
Well, that's very kind.
Okay.
Careful, don't go south. The dearth goes on forever.
No south, only north.
All right, thanks, Night Peddler.
Does it really go on forever?
The dearth is a point where God's ideas ran out. It's just a blank slate. Just repeats itself. Like it's a lack of inspiration that surely you've had a day of a lack of inspiration before.
Never.
Feels like it goes on forever.
I read the second Harry Potter book.
Yeah, I was going to say Archer past season 5. It's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
When The Office gets to like season 7. It's,
Yeah. George R. R. Martin currently, I think. We could go on.
Anyway, nice to meet you. Lovely stuff. Got to go. To the pips. Let's go.
We got a camp and I guess message Karagor to meet us outside the camp.
That's why I was hurrying things on. I just messaged Karagor and say, Karagor, get out of here.
I'm walking without rhythm. I've got the Harkonnens in sight. Get out of here. Are we taking them back to the Sietch?
Get out of here.
Okay.
We'll meet you on the horizon. Go south. No, north.
Wait,
north.
Cut. Message.
Out of character, how many grubs did the
TikTok man want?
TikTok
man wanted 6.
How many does she have?
Well, the trouble, but when we went there, it was all, let's not use the grubs because they had little faces and everyone felt very bad about using the grubs. So the grubs are pretty much out unless we've suddenly done a full 180 on that.
In character, it seems like we're being led to kill the Mazzali.
It feels like that's the.
No, I mean, because think about the world in which we exist. So everything does the same thing again. With story stuff, raw story stuff, you can just change things. You could fix things. You could solve a lot of problems that these people have. They all want grubs. They all want it.
Have I met up with these guys yet?
So you kind of duck under the other side of the tent.
Karagor, why are you walking like that?
Do you keep the disguise on?
Just stop shuffling your feet about. Just walk normally.
I have to. How visible are you to the rest of the NPCs?
Once you get away from the the camp, you can kind of duck under it, get over a sand dune, and you're free in a way.
Okay, cool. Well, if I'm break line of sight and I can see these guys, then I'll drop the hood and the mask just so they can see my face. But I'll keep a hand on it in case I need to flip it up again.
Fair enough. And you kind of head north. You kind of catch sight of them from a distance away, but you all just kind of power walk through the desert for a while until you put some proper distance between you and the camp, and you're able to kind of hunker down and rejoin each other and talk.
We don't have to kill Mazali. I mean, you could do a big heist operation, steal a quantity of 18 grubs in order to give the TikTok man.
We could
It just seems that we can get 2 tokens out of one. Well, and then we also need Mazali's as well.
There is a world in which we only have to kill one person. We go to Mazali, steal 18 grubs, take 12 back here, then go take 6 to the TikTok man. Give 6 to the TikTok man, he gives us the token. We kill the TikTok man, go back to Mazali. As long as she doesn't know we've stolen the grubs, then we get the token off her, because we've killed the TikTok man, which is what she wanted us to do, and we've got the token from the TikTok man and from this fella, Night Peddler.
But the TikTok man controls all the stuff.
Which is why, as soon as we've done that, we have to be sure that we've got all 3, because then we run to the patchwork prince.
Yeah.
Do we need 12 for this chap? Because, I mean, he says he show a way out of the realm, but I can't feel if we fight the patchwork prince and defeat them, there'll be some sort of way
Well, we
out.
don't know that, though. That's a
maybe.
It is, but, you know...
Yeah, I know what you mean, but like...
And I think Mazali's going to realise she was very, 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 very protective of her grubs. I think she'll realise as soon as they're gone, that they are gone, and then she'll be... sneaking back and putting them back out. I'm not sure that would be an option.
Well, do you have an alternative? Do you know of a different plan?
No, I mean, Mazali's... Yeah, if we steal the grubs, well, I don't think there's any going back. But then we need a token from Mazali, don't we? I'm getting lost.
So do we kill the TikTok man, take his token, then
out of character.
not give him any grubs?
We've got... we know that TikTok man's got a token, Mazali's got a token, and the Peddler's got a token.
Peddler's got a token. Then the other tokens that you have not looked into yet, the Demon's Fen and Bramblestone.
So we've still got those other 2.
Okay. So do we continue on this method of going to suss out the other 2, see what they're about, then reconvene and make final ultimate plan to do this stuff? Unless you lot want Gore back and we just kill them all.
We just get into it.
I would prefer to kill the Mazali.
Because what I think us diplomatising this and being nice to people was along the lines of avoiding combat, which would take longer. But it's working out now that this, in fact, is taking longer. So I don't want to be all Algon about this, but... we've got a real life. Yeah, Algon was right. Magneto was right.
Thanos, all that.
We've got a real life person in there who could be being skinned. And
we do, yes. No, because obviously you wouldn't know that they were being skinned, but he might be skinned.
Sure,
the
I assume we've caught each other up.
And otherwise, without. But it is. You're very true. You're very true. Yes, it could be very. And we know about the Demon's Fen now.
So all this time that we're taking is probably just skinning.
This is a 5-minute conversation, which is quite important. But yeah, maybe all the time fasting around with the actors.
I don't mean the time of the conversation. I mean the time that we're taking to do.
Oh yes,
don't get me wrong. I'm not like saying that. We should be killing people now.
Well, I mean, to be fair, though, how long have we been in here for? It feels like forever.
I just feel like about 10 episodes.
We've been farting about talking to actors and plasticine owls and stuff.
When did we draw something and then it appeared on a piece of paper?
Something.
Oh, we did sort of.
So you created a spell a while ago using the nib. That was quite a specific thing, though. It does exist as a possibility, but it was a very high roll, and you rolled very well on it to be able to do that thing. But
I feel like that was maybe a one-off, bending the situation.
Well, the Demon's Fen is where all the souls of the skin people go, so we could maybe go there. There's not going to be anyone to bargain with. We could get that token at least.
Is there no one there to bargain with?
Well, no, because he said it was where all the souls of the people who get skinned go.
Is there not a conspirator there?
Don't think so.
Really?
Was there? I'm not sure we got told
You
to
have
go anywhere.
heard of the Barrow King of the Demons.
There might be.
God.
That's all
Of
you know
course
about.
there's somebody to bargain with.
All right,
well,
well,
sure
look,
we could
look.
kill the Barrow King.
So,
I want 20 grubs. Oh no. No more grubs.
should we go to the remaining two people left, and then see where we go and who we kill?
All right, let's make it snappy.
Well, I mean, how long did it take us to get here?
Minutes.
Was it minutes?
I mean, in our world, it was, yeah.
About 3 days.
We
or something
skipped.
like
It's about 3 days. We've got to spend 3 days finding this chump. Should we just kill this dickhead? Seriously?
What, this
I mean,
one here?
Yeah, I mean, he shows a way out. There'll be a way out.
I mean, if you wanted to, I could start a little riot. Thing is, those people, before they do anything, are going to need to be equipped and some kind of training before we do anything. Now, I mean, I could get myself imprisoned in there, and then train them, but you'd need to send me in there with a shitload of weaponry.
Yeah, they said that you'd be a corpse if you went back, to be honest.
Yeah, but not if you present me as we found him, or put him in the pens. Oh, yeah, no, he did say kill me, yeah. All right, fine, fuck
But
it
he
then,
also,
never mind.
none of them have seen you. Like, they've seen someone dressed as a guy. None of them know what Karagor looks like.
So we could just
Like,
go
they've
back and
seen
say,
Agar.
we just met this person in the woods.
We met this Horrocks having a pee in the desert. and we're having
Infer
a
to
pee.
yourselves how suspicious that might be if you've been like, we don't have
Exactly.
anyone else,
Yeah,
and then you
yeah,
come back with someone. Like, you'd have to explain it, but like, it's not like it's not like there are wanted posters of Karagor's face up all over the place.
No.
So
But if you went back and were like, oh, we found this intruder in your camp on the way out, and it was him all along. So here we go. Here's negotiation peddler.
We could maybe. How much is green skin worth for the Patriarch Prince? And then we could just buy the token with your skin.
very much looks like we're moving towards using Get Help. I guess we'll find out next week. That's where we leave it for tonight.
This is a Dangerling of the Week shout out, and this week it goes to Veyron. Thank you so much to all of our Patreons. You keep this show going, but Veyron, this week, it's you. You have the medals, you have the accolades, and to be like Veyron, go to Patreon /Danger Club Podcast. Thanks, Veyron!